Today, I'm going to be talking about how I started making real money from sync licensing as a music producer. Most music producers chase artists and industry placements. I chased brands, and this decision changed my entire career. 9 years ago, I was just starting out as a music producer, trying to turn my passion for making songs into income. And one day, a friend hit me up. Hey, this company's looking for some Afrobeats for a sync brief. Want to send one in? And I stayed up for 2 days without sleeping and made 40 tracks. Funny story, I actually didn't know how to produce Afrobeats at this time, so I also had to learn how to produce this genre, and then I made 40 tracks in that style. And a few weeks later, my friend and I pitched those beats to the company, and I got my first sync placements. I actually landed more than one because I had 40 beats. So even though they were only originally looking for one Afrobeat, I ended up placing multiple of them. That was my first taste of sync money, and it hit different, and I was inspired and ready to go. But the journey in sync licensing hasn't always been easy. This is some of my early struggles. After my first initial sync success with that Afrobeat placement, I was completely hooked, I was motivated, and I started creating new music every single day and pitching it relentlessly. And most of the time, all I got were rejection emails or worse, complete silence. I would pitch my music all the time, and I would spend countless nights producing only to be turned away by basically every music library that I submitted to. Either my sound didn't fit, they didn't believe they could get the songs placed, or I never even heard back at all. And I made legitimately hundreds and hundreds of pieces of music to pitch for sync licensing. The turning point in my sync licensing career was instead of waiting for permission, I built real relationships with key players at these brands. I connected directly with music supervisors, which is the A&R who decides which songs get purchased by the brand, and I built these direct relationships by showing up, being helpful and providing value without expecting anything in return, and I sent the right music at the right time, and I sent a lot of music. And major campaigns started rolling in. I worked with companies like Six Flags, Oreos, GQ, and Crumble Cookies, and all this was from music that I was already making. And that's kind of when I realized that sync licensing wasn't just a side hustle. This was a business. And now here are 4 actionable lessons that I learned and what you can start doing today. The first one is the sync mindset. You have to think about your music from a brand perspective. Brands pay so much for your music because they want the music paired with a visual to increase the emotion of the visual, right? Think about it like this. A sad movie scene with a sad song makes the audience feel sadder, and that's why they're paying for your music. So you need to, when you create music, approach it like that. Number 2 is you should be having a targeted catalog. You want to create music that is in a certain niche and is in a niche that brands are looking for, right? You want to kind of have a target. This is what you focus on. This is what you're good at. And you have a bunch of music in that. Number 3, you can build relationships. Now, be genuine with the networking. Be authentic. Provide value without expecting anything in return. Don't just expect people to instantly get you sync placements and provide value to you, right? Your music getting placed in a TV show is value for you if your goal is to get music in TV shows. So you need to be building relationships and providing value to these supervisors. If they're looking for live trumpets, you can find somebody online who plays live trumpet and introduce you guys. And that's how you provide value, right? Without expecting anything in return. And number 4, you can monetize smart. When you start getting results from sync licensing, it's important to understand the monetization. And if you want to see real results and real long-lasting results from sync licensing, you're going to need strategy, patience, and a business mindset. The sync mindset is to stop chasing placements and to start solving problems. Music supervisors aren't just looking for hot beats or cool songs. They want the right vibe that fits the story or fits the visual. When you're making music and pitching music, think like a music supervisor. Ask yourself, what does this project need? What kind of music would amplify the emotion of this visual media? And then learn how to make music that solves their problem. Learn to create music that has options within the arrangement and options within your catalog that can solve that problem. Because you might have a sad song that you think fits perfectly for this scene, but the music supervisor might have a different idea. So build a catalog of music that can solve that problem and give them options, right? Going back to the Afrobeat idea before, I was asked to send one Afrobeat, but instead I sent a pack of 40 Afrobeats, which gave them 40 options for the visual media. And they ended up purchasing multiple of them because there were multiple pieces of music that amplified the emotion of the visual media. And they ended up using those Afrobeats among a couple different campaigns. So it's very valuable if you have multiple options to solve the problem that you provide these music supervisors. As a music producer or sync composer, or just any musician who wants to get into sync licensing, you need to build a targeted catalog. Don't just send random tracks. Focus on moods and emotions, whether that's happy, chill, suspense, or nostalgic. You want to organize your catalog so supervisors can find your music and tracks fast. The more intentional your catalog is, the easier it is for supervisors to pick your music. Make their job simple. They get sent so much music. You want to make it so easy for them that they want to use your catalog over other people's catalogs. And if your catalog is targeted and well organized and optimized, they will know to come back to your catalog when they're looking for a particular feeling, sound, or emotion. Now on to building real relationships. You want to add value first and pitch later. Most people mess up because they pitch way too early. You want to follow these music supervisors, learn their projects, learn their interests, and build trust over time. Let it take time. Sync licensing is a long game. It's not about blasting copy-paste DMs. It's about showing up consistently and being helpful. Building genuine relationships is how I've been able to work with brands multiple times and done multiple sync placements with the same music supervisor. The next step is to monetize smart. You need to register your songs properly, set up publishing so you actually get paid your royalties. Without proper publishing, sync placements don't put money in your pocket. This is the business side most producers ignore. People are so focused on the upfront fee for sync licensing that they forget to collect the publishing. And your publishing is global, so you need to partner with a publishing administrator or a publisher, like my company, Elizabeth Music Group. I started a company called Elizabeth Music Group, which is a publisher that is focused on helping producers, songwriters, and artists get paid and access high-value sync opportunities. Here's a few things about my company. We register your songs, your catalog, and your sync placements globally. We're going to help you collect your publishing royalties, and we pay out every month we receive revenue on your catalog. Most publishers only pay semi-annually or quarterly. So most publishers pay you twice a year or 4 times a year. We pay you every month that we receive revenue. And at my company, we believe in helping our roster get into sync licensing. So we have high value sync opportunities that are provided to our entire publishing roster in our exclusive Discord community. And every opportunity, every brief is free to submit to. This allows you to skip the steps of building relationships because myself and my sync team have already done that. So you're able to just create music that these brands are looking for and we can pitch that. The producers who win in sync licensing are the ones who treat it like a business, not a lottery ticket. And that's exactly the kinds of people that we focus on at Elizabeth Music Group. If you're trying to build a business in sync and you want to make revenue, then we need to operate like a business. But even if you don't end up deciding to partner with my company, Elizabeth Music Group, here is some tangible advice that you can take to grow in sync licensing. The first step is to start small. Stop trying to shoot for the biggest brands in the world. Go build small. You want your music in blockbuster movies? Well, let's start with some local college short films. Start small, build up your initial credits, and over time, you can grow into working with these really big brands. Number 2, build relationships. Prioritize building relationships with whoever you can, whether it's a sync vocalist or a producer who's done sync licensing before, or a music supervisor. Build genuine relationships, provide so much value to people that you're impossible to ignore. And then number 3, be consistent. I started my sync career with 1 brief from a friend and 40 tracks, and now it's a full-time career that grows every single year. If you want to get your songs into Netflix shows or ads, it's possible. You need to approach it right, stay consistent, and build the right relationships. Sync licensing can absolutely change your life and your career. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more real-world music business tips. And if you're interested in Elizabeth Music Group, feel free to reach out and let's connect. Start creating sync success. It'll change your whole life and your career.